Hello, hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to today's live video Q&A. So if you're new around here, welcome. My name is Charlotte O'Hara and I am a web designer, developer, I'm a Squarespace SEO expert and online educator, and I'm so happy that you're here and that I can use this time to answer all of your burning website and SEO and online marketing questions. So if you're new, these questions, you can always send them to me by Instagram DM, you can email them to me, you can leave a comment on one of these live videos or the replays, whatever it is, and I'm so happy to answer them because I know that during this pandemic, this is an actually insane time and we all need to help each other out as much as we can. So I'm here for you in my own little way and I'm so excited to share this info with you. So if you're new, these videos, I do them every day, Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And I also upload the replay obviously onto Instagram, so you can catch it here on Instagram for 24 hours. And then I will also be uploading the Instagram live replays to my website, which is charlotteohara.ca. So if you haven't checked out my website, you can take a look over there, see all of the other Insta live replays from last week and this week and stuff, and you can take a look at the questions that came through. There's some really good content there, so be sure to check it out. So Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, I'm doing these videos, and please get involved, send me your questions. I'm getting so many questions, which is incredible, and I'm trying to answer an average of about 5 questions during each live video, so I'd love to make sure that yours is one of the ones that I do. The format of these videos, it's kind of a 3-part thing. So first of all, I'll be answering all the questions that you guys send in to me. The second part is I'm going to share one really quick actionable tip or something that you can do on your website right after this call. I want to make sure that these tips that I'm sharing are snappy so that you can do something with them. And then the third part is if anyone has left any questions in the live video, comments, I guess is what it's called, I don't even know, then I'll be answering those at the end. So yeah, that's the format. You know about the replays, you know how often we're doing them, you know how to submit your questions, so let's get into it. Let's just start right now, okay? So we have some really wonderful questions here. I've got them written down. So the very first one comes from Katarina, something like that, and she says, just reading it. She goes, how do you connect Squarespace with MailerLite? Do you use Zapier? I'm thinking about switching to MailerLite, but it looks like you can only connect one mailing list to Squarespace. How do you get around that? So, Katerina, that's a really good question here. If anyone doesn't know what MailerLite is, MailerLite is an email marketing provider. So maybe you know of MailChimp or ConvertKit or Infusionsoft or something. MailerLite is another email marketing platform, and it's actually the platform that I use to host my email list. So that's probably why Katerina is like, yo, what do you do here? So with these, so there's kind of 2 ways that you can do it. The question here is how do you connect your Squarespace website to your MailerLite email marketing? So there's 2 ways, okay? First of all, the first option that you have is that you can connect it through Squarespace's newsletter block. So you know with Squarespace, anytime you're on a page or a blog post or whatever, you can insert a newsletter content block. If you add a little bit of code injection to make sure that you have MailerLite connected to your Squarespace website, then you can use the newsletter block directly. And anytime someone fills in or signs up via the newsletter, you can then add it directly onto a MailerLite list. So that's the first option. And then Katrina, the other option that you can do is you just build an opt-in form for a particular list in MailerLite. And then on your Squarespace website, whether it's a page or a blog post or whatever, you insert a code block, okay? So instead of a newsletter block, you insert the code block, and then you just copy and paste the HTML code or whatever it is from MailerLite's form and add that bit of code to Squarespace using the code block. So there's a couple different ways you do it. If you Google it, there's tutorials for sure on MailerLite's website, and that should get you started. So you've got 2 options, so don't worry about being limited to only one list. That's not a problem. So second question that I'm going to be answering comes from Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. And she goes, what do I put in the SEO site description? Okay. All right, so another really good question. I love talking about SEO stuff, so I'm thrilled that this one came in. All right, so if you have ever looked at the back end of your Squarespace website, you might know that there are different places that you can fill out SEO descriptions, okay? And the one that Kelly is asking about here is the SEO site description. So it basically represents your homepage. So when you're thinking about what kind of information you put in your SEO site description, you're thinking specifically about your homepage and your website as a whole, okay? So this is done, I believe it's done through, like, if you are logged in on the back end of your website, you go to like marketing, then SEO, and then you'll see the like site description field part. But you're thinking about like more general homepage website as an entirety information, okay? So you say a little bit about like what kind of website this is, whether you're like a service provider, a lifestyle blog, a information-based site, if you have like products and e-commerce stuff, like whatever it is, you want to include that information and like description in the SEO site description there. And you want to try to use natural language, because this is an important thing to say too, is that the SEO site description will probably show up in search results in Google when like Google is returning your website and your homepage as one of their results, okay? So this is why you want to use like natural language, because the little preview is going to show up in search results when your homepage is delivered, okay? So you might have heard about something called keyword stuffing. And if you go to my website, charlotteohara.ca, and you search keyword stuffing, I have a whole blog post that tells you like what it is and why not to keyword stuff. So don't fall into the trap of keyword stuffing in your SEO site description. Instead, use natural language, but incorporate those keywords as well. You can do both. You can use the keywords, put them in your SEO site description without risking the fact that you're going to be keyword stuffing, because that is a faux pas. Okay, so good question there, Kelly. Okay, the next question, I like this one because it also relates to SEO descriptions and stuff. But in this case, the person asked, is the SEO description different for pages? Okay, and the answer to that is yes, it is different for pages. Okay, so the first thing you would have done is you filled out the SEO site description, which is associated with your website's homepage and your website as a whole. But then you have to take it a little step further, and for every page on your website, you are going to fill out the SEO page descriptions, okay? And so what we're doing here with the SEO page description is we're telling search engines like Google, Yahoo, or Bing or whatever, what each page is about. So again, this is your chance to use those keywords and explain what the page is about, why someone who's visiting, like if that particular page shows up in a search result, you want that SEO page description to have some information about what it is and kind of explain to them like why they should be visiting this page, like why it's useful to them. So you explain like what your page is about, what kind of content you have on it, all sorts of things like that. So remember too that for every page that you have on your Squarespace website, you need to fill out the SEO page description. So it's kind of like it's not like a one and done thing. You have to repeat that process for each individual page. And that means as well that you can't just like copy and paste the exact same thing into the SEO page descriptions for all the different pages. Like, no, you have to make each SEO page description unique so that it accurately reflects like what you're talking about on each one of the pages. So I hope that helps answer your question. Let me see. Yeah, just use the keywords there, keep the information short, relevant, and readable, and that will help you out. Okay, and then the fourth question comes from Jeff, and Jeff says, how does my site appear on my phone? It looks weird. And like, Jeff, honestly, I just love that. I love your honesty. You're like, this looks weird. I'm not into it. Okay, so the funny thing here about basically what you're wondering is you want to know like, how does my Squarespace website appear on different size devices? So you could be talking about anything smaller than a computer, right? You've got like standard laptop size, but then there's also things like your tablet, so like your iPad or whatever. And then you have smartphones, like the iPhone, like Samsung's, whatever, like all those kind of smartphones. And keeping in mind that the way you view a website on a smaller size is going to be very different from the way it views and displays on a bigger screen, right? Because if you're viewing your website on a laptop or a desktop or something, you have space to like display everything in its original format. However, if you're viewing it on a smaller smartphone or something, obviously the design and the layout is going to have to change because you can't make everything like as wide and full width or whatever as you would like because it's such a small space. So instead, we have something called responsive design, and that's basically, it's a way of automatically showing the same content on the page, but like reformatting it to fit a different size screen. So this is why you might see that like most websites will then go to a single column and stack everything. So this is where you're like, oh, it's looking weird or something, because you might have issues of like, you know, if you have on your website, let's say like text on one side and image on the other side, and then you like switch it around as you go down the page. When you view it on a smartphone, maybe instead of having like image, text, image, text, image, text, you have like image, text, text, image or something. And then you might also come across problems with like the crop of the image doesn't look as good or things like that, right? So I have two things that I would suggest for you. First of all, if you haven't already, log into the back end of your Squarespace website and you can actually toggle over onto something, and it's called Test with Device View, okay? Test with Device View. And this means that like if you open your Squarespace website and you're kind of viewing it when you're logged in, if you go up to the top, you can kind of toggle between different size devices, and that will show you a preview of how your website will look on those different size devices. So your smartphone, your tablet, your desktop, whatever, okay? And that will give you a good idea of like maybe how you have to like reformat things, or if any of the images, if you need to change the crop or change the focus or anything like that, you'll see it there. And then the second thing I want you to do is go to my website, which is charlotteohara.ca. And if you go to the freebies page, which is in the top navigation, if you're in the freebies tab, I have a freebie and it's called Squarespace SEO and Responsive Design Guide. And you should go and download that. It's totally free. And that will give you a lot more information about like, whoops, hold on, what do I have here? That Squarespace SEO and Responsive Design Guide gives you lots more information about like responsive design, how it works, things to consider, and it also gives you a lot of SEO tips, as I'm sure you can tell by the name of it, and that will be really, really helpful for you, okay? All right, so those are the tips that I'm answering today. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted those questions. And don't forget that if you are watching this, you can leave any questions that you have in the comments of this Instagram Live, or you can send me your questions by email, Instagram DM, comment on any of the replay videos, like whatever. Okay, so now let's move to the second part of this Instagram Live, which is where I'm sharing a really quick tip, something actionable that you can do for your website today. And my tip today is that I want you to fully embrace Squarespace's built-in marketing features, okay? So the three main ones that I wanna highlight really quickly are email marketing. So, you know, you can use Squarespace's email marketing campaigns, you can use any of the other integration third-party ones. We talked about MailerLite earlier in the video, but like, I don't care what it is, but integrate with email marketing. The second feature that's directly built in that I love is the announcement bar. And I have, if you go to my website, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have lots of content about like using the announcement bar for marketing. So just go to my website or YouTube and just search announcement bar and you'll find some content there. And then the third one is use Squarespace's promotional pop-up, okay? And again, if you go to my website, charlotteohara.ca, or you go to my YouTube channel, you'll find videos and tutorials about how to not only set up a Squarespace pop-up, but also like how to use it effectively as a marketing tool, okay? So those are my tips that I'm gonna be sharing with you today. Okay, now the third part of this live is where I open it up to questions here. So I'm gonna quickly take a look here. Oh wow, we've got lots of people join today, thank you. Okay, so oopsies. So no questions coming in here, totally cool. If you guys ever do have any questions, just submit them at any time and I'll get to them at the end. So that is everything for the video today. I want to remind you that I will be back here again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, so you can tune in for another one of these live Q&A videos, and I'm answering all of your questions about website, SEO, and online marketing. So you can send them over my way and I will do my best to get to them. There's lots of questions, but I'm trying to pick not only the best ones, but the ones that I think can apply to many different people. So the replay for this Instagram Live will be available here on my Instagram channel for the next page? Like, what do you, profile? Whatever. It'll be here for the next 24 hours, but I'll also be uploading the replay to my website, so you can take a look at that replay at your convenience, take a look at the other ones as well. Yeah, I think that's it. Go to my website, which is charlotteohara.ca. You can view tons more like content, guides, resources, tutorials there, all about like web design and development, Squarespace, SEO, lots of stuff like that. So I'm here to help you as best as I can. And you can also go to my website, charlotteohara.ca, and take a look at the services that I offer. One of the really popular things that's happening right now with the pandemic and everyone trying to move their business online is my Squarespace SEO audit and consulting sessions. So that's a really great one. Take a look at that and let me know if you would like to work together, because I would love to work with you right now. I think there's no better time. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in, for submitting so many great questions, and I will see you back here again tomorrow. Okay, bye guys. See you.